Buzz, 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 baby. We're back for season 2 of Yellowjackets. Today, I'm going to be going over the big teaser trailer that came out in anticipation for the actual trailer that will be coming out any moment now. So we're going to go through the teaser trailer frame by frame and also talk about some of the casting, some of the things you need to know about season 2, some of the theories, and just a little bit of everything that you need to know about Yellowjackets season 2. So let's get right into it.
And watch the light. Allow yourself.
So we pretty much knew that Lottie was actually the one that kidnapped Nat because, of course, we had that scene last season at the very end where the bank manager had left a voicemail for Nat saying, "Who the fuck is Lottie Matthews?" And it was Lottie's new recruits that had taken Nat, and now they're in some sort of retreat, cabin, rehabby type place. And adult Lottie is being played by Simone Kessel, which again, just great casting. They really, really nail the casting on this show, and all of the actors are fantastic, but they really do a good job of casting teens and adults that really do resemble each other.
Go back.
So we get this little shelter, and that definitely is the plane door. I mean, it looks like a plane door, and also the red trim on the bottom is the same as the plane that they were in. I do think we get an interior shot of this little shelter later in the trailer, so I'll show you that. But I think this is some sort of like mining something. They did mention mining a couple of times in season 1, although that could be like a red herring or just means nothing, that we make it mean something, like the whole trigonometry theories and like Adam's tattoo theories. And a lot of the time the creators have come out against some of these things and said, "We really like the idea, guys, but Adam's tattoos just didn't mean anything." So the mining thing could mean nothing, but I do think the shelter would be quite pivotal, and we could see the group splitting into 2 factions, one in the cabin and maybe one here.
No matter how difficult it gets.
So yeah, we saw the red trim on the plane there, and Coach Ben looking not so good. Nat eating something that's not very good, it seems. And I think that is the inside of the mining tunnel, because you can see there's like sticks, like logs in making the wall kind of in the background. And then if you look here, you can see the same sort of sticks being used to make the wall. And then we saw there the antler queen in the plane, but the one thing, I mean, she totally could be in the plane, but the other thing to remember about this show is that dream sequences, like hallucinations, like they could totally not be taking place in reality, some of the scenes we see here, and I think there is definitely a few of those in this trailer. The gold chalices being one of them, and there's a scene later or a frame later that I'll talk about that. Some of the stuff, like, I'm not gonna guess like or sit here and be like, whose hand is this and like whose leg is this, because really those scenes and like those little clips wind up usually not really meaning much, and also like what are we going to be able to tell from a hand, you know? So I'm not going to bore you with that stuff.
Darkness. We brought it back with us. It's happening again, isn't it?
I think maybe this is like another plane. Very strange if it's another plane, but just I have been in a lot of those like little planes, like with the engines, and these like bolts and rivets on the side look very like it, and this sort of shape here, because when you're on those planes, you have to, the really tiny ones, you have to stand on the wing to get in, and then you like go in through like a tiny door like on the window, and it really looks like that type of style to me anyway. And Thaisa there, I think this is like her going into like her campaign place, but there's a picture of Rosemary's baby like right here, and it's like, is that foreshadowing for Shauna's baby?
I can feel it. We weren't alone out there.
I'm guessing that's Ty going out in her socks, because why else would someone go out in the socks like when she's in like her fugue state? This is probably like the biggest frame for me in the trailer, because this, and I have a theory about this too. So this cannot possibly be in the woods. Like there's automatic doors or a lift or something, and it's all like white and clean, but Lottie has her scar. So it is taking place post rescue. So I think that we are going to get a third timeline, because we have like 96, 97, the woods and everything, and then we have the adults in 2021, 2022, maybe 2023, and then I now think we're going to get the survivors after they've been rescued. And I think there's another scene that shows that. If you remember the show Lost, they did that. I think it was after season 3 that they used to show like before the island and then on the island. And then there was a big event in like the season finale where they showed you all these clips throughout the episode. And then at the end, they revealed that those clips were actually taking place after they'd been rescued from the island. So that's possible. I don't think that we'll get like tons of from that timeline, but we could get some like smattered throughout the season or like in a particular episode.
This isn't where we're supposed to be.
Do not cry about this, Misty. Babies cry.
So I think those animals, if you look at the season 1 episode 1 where we see like the antler queen and stuff, like those are all very like patched together and like a bit rough, whereas these are quite well made and like look, you know, decent. So I think that this is actually Lottie's cult right now, like in the 2021 2022 timeline, and that these are like her new cult people with like their masks on. This is a new character, Crystal, who's played by a Malaysian actress, Nuha Isman. So sure, something interesting is going to go on with Crystal if they've like added her into the cast. And you saw there just before like Thaisa looking through the vent. So I think maybe she's like putting together that she did the whole thing with Biscuit. Oh, that is the other frame that I was talking about with like the gold goblets and things, because I mean a lot of people have like dissected this and said like who's this, but it's obvious like Coach Ben isn't there, and I do think that this is probably like a dream or maybe like a hallucination if they're like really hungry and they're imagining they're having this feast, because where would they have found like all these gold dresses and like headpieces and like all their hair looks amazing and stuff? So I think this is most likely like a dream or like a hallucination scenario. And we see like Jeff in like a box truck, Thaisa like helping Shauna through what looks like crazy weather. And I think that was Shauna earlier in the clip where it's like crying and like looking down. So this could be Shauna going into labor, just like having an issue, or they could have just gone out and got injured. Misty, it looks like she's eating like a watermelon or something there. Van, that looks like Nat jumping out of like whatever facility Lottie has her in. That little banner says breathe on it. And then we see like Travis's legs from whenever he was found, and I think we're gonna see what happened, because everything's like different from when they found him. So I think we'll see whatever went on there and like the ritual stuff with like the wax and things. We see Coach Ben like looks like he's losing it a little bit. I don't know, maybe like rabies is going on there. You know, sometimes when I think if you ingested like an animal that had rabies, that would happen, because we have seen animals behaving in like a weird way, like the bear, and then the stuff with the deer inside too. So yeah, I mean, obviously it could be, again, a hallucination or a dream, but I mean, when I see someone foaming at the mouth, animal or human, I definitely think like rabies. And we saw like Travis's eyes rolling back in his head. Thaisa looks like she's looking for like the darkness. Lottie, it seems, getting electroshock therapy, which this does actually still happen. Very, very, very small percent of people, but it's for extreme depression. They don't do it like that. Also, they knock you out. Now they don't do it. This looks like quite barbaric, but this also has to be post rescue because she has the scar on her head.
Kidnapping, cults, death. Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
And then we know Elijah Wood is going to be playing a citizen detective called Walter. This scene here, where they're like dancing around the fire, this is all of the surviving adults, because I'm going to put a picture on the screen so you can see it. There is a picture that they put out, and you can tell Misty has this really distinct like purple and white coat on, and that's what you can see. This is her right here on the by the fire, and then you can match it up with all the other ones too. There has been a lot of pictures with Misty in that coat. There's another one where she has like a goat and stuff, so I think that there's going to be an episode where they are like out in the woods for like a significant amount of time. This, I could not work out what was going on. I'm going to play it one more, and then I'm going to do it frame by frame so you can see. It's like glass but water. To me it looked like someone was like shooting like magical powers out of their hand or something, but it's so dark that it's so hard to see. But yeah, I'm gonna play it one more time. It's so weird. It I don't know what it could be. Maybe it's just like the music at the same time, but it looks kind of like water and stuff, and I would have thought like, oh, it's it's magic. But yeah, that is the teaser that came out. It's like just over a minute, and as I said, you know, the trailer will be out any moment now. Take that as a hint, and I will definitely break it down. Some other things just quickly to say is that there obviously is the other casting of Adult Van, which is Lauren Ambrose, who was in 6 Feet Under. I think they did a really good job again with all the casting, and we did get a couple of little looks at Adult Van. So there is a lot of discussion about Yellowjackets on the Yellowjackets Reddit forum. I have been on there since like day one, and it is wild to see how much it has grown. I don't think I've ever seen a Reddit grow so fast. And over the course of the year that the show has been off on hiatus, so many people have discovered it, because they did win like a lot of awards and it's had a lot of positive buzz. Haha, buzz. So it's very exciting to see where season 2 is going to go. I am going to be covering every moment over here on the channel, so make sure that you're subscribed and follow me on social media to stay up to date with absolutely everything and to know the second that trailer drops. I also have a Patreon, a merch store, a Discord, and all of that will be linked in the description box down below. Make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.